On the news, House of Representatives cautions against arbitrary increase of house rents. Senate urges Federal Road Maintenance Agency to redouble efforts towards road maintenance. Plus, House summons Minister of Environment and former project coordinator of hydrocarbon pollution remediation project over mismanagement of oil spill cleanup funds. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliament News. I am Muhammad Rabiu Ali. The news begins from the Red Chamber. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, Senator Sahabi Yau, has urged board and management of the agency to think outside the box in tackling the challenge of road maintenance across the country. This was at the screening of the presidential appointee as chairman of the board of FEMA, Dr. Musa Yahya. The committee says Nigerians expect improved service delivery on all projects.
Our roads all over the country are in very, very deplorable condition, and they need immediate attention to maintain.
The average lifespan of any asphalted road is 25 years. A lot of them have failed.
During our oversight functions, I would like to take you on what you're going to tell us today.
We shall employ the use of innovation, technology, sustainable funding, and sustainable collaboration with critical stakeholders.
And still a road infrastructure matter, the House of Representatives has vowed to ensure all roads in Nigeria are in good condition with the federal government's huge investments and commitment in addressing challenges in the transportation sector. Chairman, House Committee on Works, Akin Alabi, stated this during an assessment of the ongoing work on the Abuja to Kaduna and Zaria to Kano federal highways. National Assembly correspondent Isa Mohammed reports.
The ongoing work include earthwork on shoulders, concrete and asphalt overlay with stone-based laying, pulverization and priming of stabilized layers for durability of the road. The site engineer from the Federal Ministry of Works and the contracting firm restated their commitments to meet the August 2026 deadline.
The contractor has completed about 25 kilometers of continuously reinforced concrete pavement. This is besides the places where they've done asphalt work. So as it is, in recent times, the contractor has shown commitment to this project.
Committee members commended the quality of work, but cautioned against using substandard materials, as it will continue to monitor and evaluate progress.
People have suffered enough, decades of neglect on this road. And I'm sure with the executive and the parliament working together, I'm confident that next year, August or so, completion date? Yes, sir. August, we want to see this road commission and Nigerians to begin to enjoy this road, because that's what President Bola Tinubu promised Nigerians.
The committee has visited the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano road to see things for themselves as the road construction is ongoing. What remains now is for the contractor to double efforts to meet the deadline of August 2026. From Jere in Kaduna State, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
And reports reaching us indicate that the House of Representatives has called on the federal and state governments to take urgent measures towards regulating arbitrary increase of house rent and undue exploitation of tenants by property owners in parts of the country. Representative Basi Akiba, in a motion, cited examples in the nation's capital, observing that rents in areas with newly constructed roads have skyrocketed from 800,000 naira to as high as 2.5 million naira per annum. Adopting his motion, the House described the situation as unbearable financial burden on tenants, noting that access to affordable, safe and secure accommodation is a fundamental right of citizens.
To regulate arbitrary rent increases and protect tenants from exploitation. Mandate the committees on housing and habitat to ensure compliance. I so move.
This motion is referred to the Committee on Housing and Habitat.
The House also sought relief for 53 communities experiencing humanitarian crisis arising from persistent bandit attacks in Patigi and Edu local government areas of Kwara State.
Mr. Speaker, the House believes that immediate and coordinated humanitarian assistance is urgently required to prevent further hardship and to enable displaced persons to recover and rebuild their livelihood. Urge the Federal Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Poverty Alleviation, to urgently provide the relief materials, including food items, temporary shelter, medical supplies.
And in the meantime, the House Committees on Refugees and Internally Displaced Persons, as well as Emergency and Disaster Management, were mandated to ensure compliance with the resolution. In a related development, the Cross River State House of Assembly has pledged to initiate a bill regulating house rents and the conduct of housing agents across the state. After members raised concern on the matter, Udok Etim reports that the 10th Assembly, through legislative intervention, also intends to take proactive steps towards reducing the cost of building materials produced within the state.
The Cross River State House of Assembly deliberated on the unreasonable hike in house rent in Calabar Metropolis and its environs, a matter of public importance sponsored by member representing Abi State constituency, Davis Eta. Presenting the issue, the lawmaker said residents are crying out over unjustified rent, emphasizing the need for legislative intervention.
It will shock you to know that a one-room apartment on the popularly called self-contained along the Marian Axis goes for 1.5 million naira a year. Most of us who are not financially too stable, we run to Akwa, we run to Calabar South. But it's also shocking to know in Calabar South, a one-bedroom flat still goes for between 800,000 and 1 million naira, Mr. Speaker. Go to Akwa, the same thing, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this actually has placed a serious strain on the survival and livelihood of Cross River.
For other members of the 10th Assembly, the House will strive to balance the rights of landlords with that of tenants by providing regulatory framework.
I want to say that in trying to address this issue, even as emotional as it is, we have to seek to strike a balance between the landlord interest and the tenant's interest.
Mr. Speaker, as far as we have laws that regulate recovery of premises in terms of statutory notices, we should also have laws to regulate the cost of rent.
Speaker, Cross River State House of Assembly, stated that the incessant increase in house rent is bringing untold hardship to the people of the state, announcing that the 10th Assembly will soon commence legislative procedure for a law to regulate house rent across the state.
The 21st century house cannot be given, and the finishing too cannot be given at the same amount with the house that was built in 1942. So please, I'm pretty sure that Prosperity will be very happy at the close of the day because this house is committed to giving them the best. We are committed to making laws that have direct impact on the people of Cross River State and to alleviating the poverty index.
The Cross River State House of Assembly reaffirms its commitment to passing laws that will make life easier for the citizens. In Calabar, Udwak Etam, NTA News.
Now to security matters. Major General Rogers Nicholas, a former commander of the Special Task Force Operation Safe Haven and chairman of the Fact-Finding Committee for the Incessant Killings in Plateau State, has recommended stringent penalty and establishment of military brigades in Ogos and Magu axis alongside strong political will to guard against appraisal attacks as lasting solution to the crisis. The retired general stated this while briefing the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on Lasting Peace in Plateau State. National Assembly correspondent Isa Mohammed has more.
Worried by the incessant killings in Plateau State, the House of Representatives mandated an Ad Hoc Committee to carry out an extensive investigations with the aim of proffering lasting peace in the state.
Perpetual, repeated cycle of violence in Plateau State, and what at the solution. For now, we have memoranda submitted from 47 different organizations and individuals. Some of the key stakeholders.
Major General Rogers Nicholas identifies growing population, land scarcity, hate, and mutual distrust as causes of crisis in Plateau State, requiring political will, amending anti-grazing law, regular town hall meetings, and state policing to complement efforts of the military.
Build confidence on the people to the extent that the Fulanis will come and tell me that, look, there's one Biron man that missed his way, came to our place. The same thing happened, vice versa. The Biron will tell me that the Fulani man, they are straight into their place, and then no killings. The killings reduced by that incident because we had this confidence building, and then people wanted to live together.
He calls for proper understanding of Nigerians' national anthem and inculcating on youth the societal norms and values at all times to embrace the path of peace and dialogue for unity and national cohesion. From the National Assembly, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
And on our interview segment, our correspondent had earlier engaged Senator Lola Ashiru, the deputy leader of the Senate, who will assess the current security situation in Kwara State and its impact on the people as well as the economy of the state. Now, sir, how will you assess the security situation in Kwara State and which areas are mostly affected?
My people have been most supportive people you can ever imagine in Nigeria. We have been very supportive of Nigeria. If I will keep the unity of Nigeria, if there are issues of insecurity in a fellow local government in particular, it might be very, very difficult for Nigeria to stay as a country. We unite the whole country together. And that's why it's important for the government to take it very serious and adopt both kinetic and non-kinetic approach to get it sorted out. When you look at it from governance, governing is space. When the space is large, a local government can never be sufficient for them. I was advocating, or I've been advocating that a place like Ifelodun should be splitted into many local governments so that the government can be very close to the people. When the government is close to the people, the probability that the security aspect of it will improve is there. The probability that people will get more engaged. And when you are engaged, there will be peace.
What impact is the security having on rural communities, especially in terms of farming, education, and displacement?
Yeah, like I said, the military must come. Must not just come in few number. They must come in a very great number. There must be a surge, and the surge must be big enough to be able to flush out those bandits almost immediately. When they are flushed out, security must be maintained, surveillance must be maintained. And when I say surveillance must be maintained, what I mean is that those who will be sent for the search must stay within that territory forever, not for a short time, so that they can keep the peace in that vicinity. The areas we are talking about are mineral resource area, highly enriched, highly endowed. They are great farming settlements, a farming area. And we can't play with such things. We can't play with a local government that is like twice the rest of my senatorial districts. You can't play with it, definitely. We can't play with the people of the fellow local government. They are so endowed and so peaceful.
And how effective have local security efforts like vigilantes or community policing been, and what support do they need?
I tell you, people are sacrificing their life. They are sacrificing, a lot of youths, they are sacrificing their life to make sure that there's return of peace. The vigilantes are trying, the hunters are trying, and you should give it to the recently organized forest reserve people too. All of them are trying, but that can never be sufficient because they are not well armed. but in terms of physicality, in terms of their presence, in terms of even their, whatever, they are mobilizing the people to make sure that there's good surveillance, there's good information, there's good intelligence in that area. I will give that one to my people because they don't want to lose their land. In any case, their natural land, they will never lose it.
Thanks, Senator, for your time. We shall be going on a short break. When we return, the news continues.
From the 36 states of Nigeria to the legislative chambers where laws are made, laws that shape healthy living, developmental strides, and challenges. Do you know that your future begins and lies with your state legislature? Stay informed, stay educated, stay connected, and stay empowered. It is a weekly affair where we keep you abreast with legislative stories that matter. From the state assemblies, only on NTA Parliament. Join us via DSTV, GoTV, StarTimes, and free-to-air platforms. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
If you're just joining us, this is Parliamentary News reaching you from NTA Parliament, Abuja. You can follow these broadcasts and other programs on the social media platforms showing on your screen. Moving on, the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on the Mismanagement of Oil Spill Cleanup Funds in the Niger Delta resolved that the Minister of Environment and the immediate past project coordinator, Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, appear before it with relevant documents regarding allocation, release, disbursement, and utilization of funds designated for oil spill remediation in Ogoni land, among other inquiries. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Gunjide reports.
The investigative hearing is a continuation of the scrutinization of project implementation, procurement integrity, payment processes, interagency coordination, and the delivery of promised remediation and restitution to affected communities in the Niger Delta. Recall the Federal Minister of Environment on March 2019 conveyed Federal Executive Council approval to IPREP for the award of contract to remediation of hydrocarbon impacted sites in Ogoneland. The committee is perplexed about the agency's threshold, bank statements, award of contracts, companies involved, payment vouchers to contractors, receipts, undocumented spendings, and project sites.
Do you have any undocumented project site?
We are not comfortable hearing that the Ogoni cleanup exercise, you were considering selective tendering.
The immediate past project coordinator, is he within the country?
I presume so, because like me, he came from the University of Port Harcourt.
Only 5 out of 21 contracts awarded in 2018 required FEC approval, while other 16 contracts fall within the MTB approval or Parastatal Tender Board approval.
We have not submitted any budget to the federal government or to the National Assembly for assessment of undocumented sites, and we have not also received such money.
I have not entered any office, but we are working closely with the ministry.
You asked us to submit the nomination to the board, that to the OTF. That has been signed.
I hereby move a motion that the minister of environment should be invited in our next sitting with all relevant documents relating to hybrid.
The summoned authorities are expected to appear before the committee in due course. From the National Assembly, Joshua Oguchidi, NT News.
And in another development, the Kebbi State House of Assembly has held a public hearing on the 2025 Child Protection Amendment Bill, aimed at strengthening legal frameworks for the safety, welfare, and rights of children in the state. Jafar Yusuf Illo reports that the hearing brought together key stakeholders to share insights and recommendations that will help shape a more effective child protection law.
The public hearing provided a platform for stakeholders to share their perspectives, concerns, and recommendations to ensure proposed amendment to the Child Protection Bill aligns with the reality and needs of the community. Declaring the session open, Speaker Kebbi House of Assembly Mohamed Usman Zuru described the hearing as a vital part of the legislative process. He noted that although the 2021 Child Protection Law was a step forward, concerns raised by cultural, religious, and civil society groups necessitated a comprehensive review.
Please make a meaningful contribution that will guide the House Committee in its work on this bill. I urge all of you to be frank, please, on this bill, respectfully and objective in all your submissions.
Fully in ensuring that we promote the interests of our society, the interests of the children, and the interests of the people who are vulnerable, people who are actually in their need of assistance.
The proposed amendment emphasizes the protection of children's rights, which calls for steeper penalties against violators and a clear definition of a child as anyone under the age of 18.
So we advocate that if this definition can be incorporated here, a child should be someone that is from birth to 14 years of age, while a young person should be from 14 to 18, because their sense of reasoning is not the same.
So we should look at it from the perspective of making a contribution to the development of the individual who will one day be a part of the society, and the essence of that is for that person to contribute positively.
So for us as Christians, we feel if this law includes us, our own also should be added. It should read Islamic law and biblical teaching.
Stakeholders at the session stressed that the review is part of the wider national effort to improve legal safeguards for children. The Assembly's engagement on the bill reflects its strong commitment to promoting a safer and more secured environment for children in Kebbi State. In Kebbi, Jafari Subilo, NTA News.
On a sad note, the Northern Senators Forum extend condolences to the government and people of Niger State of the tragic tanker explosion that occurred in Kacha local government area, claiming the lives of about 38 persons. In a statement by the chairman of the forum, Senator Abdulaziz Eradua expressed sadness and prayed for the repose of the departed souls, describing the tragic incident as a reminder to prioritize road safety and the enforcement of safety protocols, particularly with regards to the transportation of hazardous materials. The forum asked the Federal Road Safety Corps to intensify efforts in ensuring that tankers and other vehicles are roadworthy and comply with safety standards. That's the size of our bulletin for this evening. For more updates, you can follow us on the social media platforms showing on your screen. Thanks for watching. I am Muhammad Rabiu Ali.